Oh, good. I'm live and everything's very dark. I'm used to Zoom where you can actually brighten the screens up. So, anyway, I've arrived. I'm so excited that I've managed to conquer this on the third attempt. So, where am I today? It's been quite a week. Exciting as always. I don't let the grass grow under my feet. I think that we need to live every moment of every day in a productive way that works for us. And that does mean taking lots of quiet moments as well. But I'd like to introduce you to the new dress, which I'm very pleased with. I haven't still got the top quite right. It's a little bit wide on the shoulders, and that is a design fault that I keep forgetting to alter the main pattern on. But I love it. It's one of those baggy sort of smock dresses that is just great, and anybody can wear them anytime and not worry too much about life and how we look. So it's bright and cheerful, and that makes me happy. So if you saw one of my shorts, you will see that I introduced three of the frogs. Um, this little one belongs to a friend, and there's another one about to go on the pins for another friend. So I'm very excited to send these off. These are a pattern by a lovely lady named Claire Garland, and her sort of handle is dot underscore pebbles. And she's also the designer for the beautiful white rabbit that is part of this channel. And isn't she adorable? I love her very much. So we're looking for ways to, I don't know, set a stage for these. And to be honest, we've been just too busy to do it. So that probably might not happen. But I love them. I think they're very cute and they make me very happy. I do talk to my creatures. And when I finish them, I give them to my husband. I say, just give them some love. And we like charge them up with positive energy. So whoever ends up loving them, they receive our love too. I oh, I don't know. There's so many things I want to say. Let me tell you this bit. I've been watching a beautiful lady named Kate at the Last Homely House, and many other people that operate with quilting. Now, I'm not a very tidy person, and I don't think I could do all that fine stuff. I could, but it would drive me nuts, so I would never finish it. But I don't know if it was Kate that showed me or somebody else, but what I did with some of these fabric pieces, and I don't know if you can see this, I got lots of different squares and bits of end scraps. And what I did was actually started to sew them together in quite random ways. And it's not square. I didn't do a very good job of it, but I did say I'm not a perfectionist in that this way. And I've put a lining inside of I forget, I think it's called oven glove batting. So this is one of my new table centerpieces. I wish that I'd made it square. I don't know why I was so messing around because it was meant to be an oblong. Anyway, I think this is a fantastic way to make memory quilts and various other things. And so if you've got a item of clothing that you love, keep it. If it's not fit to be worn by anybody else, don't put it in the rag bag. Chop some bits out of it, chop the buttons off, and start making stuff. I mean, this would make quite a nice little bag, wouldn't it? So I've got quite a few more scraps of this. So I'm going to make a round one for the centerpiece of our table as well. I thought I'd show you that. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was shashiko or sashiko. And this is the embroidery here that you're seeing. And and there you are. So all I've done is picked out some of this beautiful batik patterning on all of these bags that I make and turned them into put some embroidery. I bought a thimble, a shashko thimble, which you wear here like this. And so I've just invested in some Sashko, sorry, I'm getting it all wrong, needles which are longer. But I don't know if Japanese women do have much smaller hands. I've seen men use them. I haven't not tried them yet. So we've got a reasonable length, and what you do is you thread it, and somehow, I don't know how you do this. I think I've put it the wrong way around. There we go. So it's that way round. And as you push the needle through the fabric, I don't know if you can see this, then you push it with this bit of the thimble. So I'm really excited to try. And I guess like most projects, when you're learning, it will be awkward and I'll probably stab myself a few times, but I'm used to that. Being a creative artist, it's a bit of a hazard at times. My family teased me because I've got a small piece of glass in my finger, which has stopped me able to use all my fingerprint recognition and all of those things. So with sashiko, you use a specific cotton. Well, I haven't got any. I've got some denim cotton, which that is what this is created with. So these little bags that I am making in my spare time are book bags. And in here are all the books that I've written. I haven't put my journals in here, my notebook journals in here. But I had the privilege yesterday, hence all these little bits of paper, of being on a podcast with this wonderful woman called Angie Romero. And Angie, spirituality talk show, I think it's called. And Angie is a superbly spiritual, wonderful woman. And she invited me to talk about my book that was published in December of last year. And this is a really sort of sensible book that teaches you how to negotiate life, manage relationships, manage conflict, find the heart of you, to find your desires, and even to find the one if you're looking for them. So when she prepares that and produces it for us, I will definitely let you know. And I'll see if I can get it onto my own channel, which would be great, won't it? It's really nice to give people the opportunity to talk about their lives and their work. And that's what I do on this channel, but also to get online with somebody else who is asking you questions is quite a lot of fun. If you're interested in in how we make these bags, I will make a Sunday opportunity for you with those. What else have I got? I've been really enjoying this new book by Catherine Mahoney, Elemental Wisdom. I talked about it last time, and it's really about sort of helping us get into that depth of mindfulness around nature and about the seasons. And I've been sort of focusing on the skies this week. We've had quite stormy weather, and it's been really interesting to keep my eyes on that. What else have you been doing? Oh, yes, I listened on YouTube to a wonderful interview with Paul Simon and Garfunkel. And he talked about a new album he's created called Seven Psalms. And I was able to play some of this on through Alexa, which was really interesting. Now, I don't know if you know much about Paul Simon. I don't. My husband's a great musician, but not me. I know a bit, and I probably know him more from my early days with Sound of Silence and songs like that. But he was talking about being woken up in the middle of the night and hearing a voice that said, you've got to write some psalms. And so because he didn't have a strongly religious background, although he knew what a psalm was, he didn't know what a psalm was, if that makes sense. So he spent some time researching psalms and understanding what they meant. And I think it took him about 2 years. He started writing music, but he didn't specifically know what he was writing for. And but he created a whole series of music for psalms. And then about a year or so later, he then started to get the words. So he'd get a line. This is what he said, is to do, I get a line, and then because of his musical knowledge and his skills, and they are immense, he started to write the second line. And basically he was told, nope, you're not writing the words. And this interviewer asked him, well, where do these voices come from? And I was really impressed. He said, they're me. And this is it about you and me. We are so much more than this finite body. There's such a limited experience purely as a human, isn't it? And there's so many rules about being healthy and well and all of those things, which I do advocate, but nevertheless, they are rules. Whereas in spirit, you are limitless and you're infinite. That means that really you can't get it wrong. There's no consequence to that element. And in my blog, I've just been writing my newsletter, and in my blog, I talk about coming home. I had a real big experience and voices in my head coming through me about living more in, not in my, how do I explain this? Living in the fullness of my spirit, meaning all of that unlimited, limitless, infinite knowledge and wisdom that you and I have got inside of us, to live in the fullness of that. And almost like carry this shell on our backs so that we can come to the world in our full power and come to the world in full knowledge. Now, we are physical beings, and I chose to be here, and I keep choosing when I get the opportunity. And in my blog, you'll understand that even more. I keep choosing to stay, even though there are many opportunities for me not to. I make that choice. I want to be here. This is the most thrilling time to be on this amazing planet. I love it. It's thrilling. And I know there's a lot of contrast out there. But if you are living fully and embodying your spirit that is infinite and limitless, then you no longer feel the burden of that is going on in the world. So I was really pleased to listen to Paul Simon, who's a very pragmatic, non-woo-woo, spiritual sort of man, actually producing a beautiful album of incredible music. So that's that little bit. So yes, the newsletter. For those of you who join my Circle of Light, it's this in July. It's going to be on the first Monday of the month rather than the second. And the reason for that is because we're planning a family holiday, and I'm very excited about it. So in a couple of weeks' time, my life will be in a very different place. It will not be in my home, and also the following one. And we have a wonderful friend staying in the house to look after our lovely old cat, Maverick. If you follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, you'll have met him. And he's got dementia and he's very needy and very happy. He's a happy dementia, which is wonderful. But he needs somebody with him, so we aren't leaving him just to cat sitters. He's going to have a friend who's going to love him for a whole several days, which is great. And so the newsletter talks about the circle of light, and it's in that circle of light where we're going to talk about the fullness, living in the fullness of spirit. And the whole of the circle of light is filled with the most powerful and amazing people. And if you watch Sunday's YouTube, it was a fantastic gentleman called Manny Pureheart. And this has been his chosen name now for 20 odd years, I think. And he is magical. He looks like a wizard. He looks like Santa Claus, and he is as magical as you could imagine. And he really is a very powerful man spiritually, an incredible healer. And on one of our weeks at the Circle of Light, one of our ladies was struggling with her back, and we all gave her healing. But I could sense that Manny's healing coming through was like, oh, pure gold. So do have a look at Manny if you get the opportunity. And I'm really grateful to everybody who's subscribing and everybody who's liking and commenting. And I really do appreciate everything that you do for me. Where am I now? Okay. So, yes, in the newsletter, is there anything else? Yes. The book club. Sorry, we talked about the book club, but the pocketbook library, we've got 2 new books. Really chomping at the bit to see which one comes out first. They're really exciting books. One is on hypnotherapy by a lovely friend called Karen Taylor, who you will meet, and the other one is by Kristin Kozlowski, who you have met on this channel. And that is just amazing. It's about animal spirit guides. And she has drawn and painted some beautiful images and teaches us how to read the cards. Very, very interesting. And other things. Oh, yes, Sunday, this Sunday coming, in fact, I've only just met this group of people. I think I've talked about them before. And they're in New Zealand, and Kim Chamberlain, who organizes the Channelers Introduction to Channeling is one, and Experience Channel is the other. And it's an opportunity to get together and to just grow together. So there's a pile of different sorts of channelers, and Kim's agreed to join me on Sunday. And in fact, I'll be creating that video tomorrow. And when I mean creating, I mean in iMovie, getting all the bits and bobs sorted out. Let me show you one of my projects. I started to talk to you about this hold on a minute, last week. We're using King Cole Riot, and this is called Wicked. That's a good name, isn't it? And it's this beautiful I don't know if you can see it all right. Beautiful multicolours. I'm so in love with this peacock blue. And it's a really nice, but in order to do what I want to do, I'm having to split the wool into small balls. So let me show you. So I love freeform crochet. And what I do is make lots of motifs, little roses, flowers, patterns, snails, all sorts. And then I crochet them all together, and it's called freeform crochet. I can design clothes in crochet. I can do a lot of things in crochet, but not in knitting. It's a totally different thing mentally for me. But I saw something on Pinterest that sparked my interest, like I think I talked about last week. And this is, let me show you where I am. There we go. This is a mitre square. So when I've completed this knitting, and it will look like this. So it's a square. I don't know what the light is like on there. Sorry, I'm not used to using my MacBook, and it's very, very dark. I'll see if I can improve on that. If anybody knows how, please tell me. So I'm creating these mitre squares. And as I was looking at them, I thought, do you know, I really like, well, there is a right and wrong way. Let's get them right. Oh, that's it. So I really like these. And I was thinking they would look really nice as the bottom of the cardigan. This is going to be what I call a blanket cardigan. And I have one in crochet, which I love. And it's one of those things you just throw on and feel really comfy, and it catches a lot of interest, my blanket one. So I'm going to make the bottom like this. So I need to make 6 of these, all starting with this glorious peacock blue. So I've got 6 on the run. So I've got 2 made and 1 in the process. But I also wanted to see, because let me do it, when we ride up, let me do this, when we ride up the arm, we aren't going to want that to be there. So I was looking at how I create it as a half. So it's like that. Does that make sense? I hope you can see that. So I had a little practice and made a half. And then I made this is garter stitch, just knitting, on very fine pins. And then look, can you see? I've made 2, and these are all integrated. This was not how I anticipated making this, by the way. So basically, this is going to be the sleeve, and it's going to have this magnificent cuff that actually sort of hangs over my hand a little bit. So I think that's going to look quite spectacular. And the way that you do this is you knit halfway along and then cast on the same amount of stitches, and then treat it exactly like this one that's on the pins. And eventually it will make the size of the square you want. So with this, I didn't quite get it correct. So I'm going to have to create a band here. And then what I'm going to do is extend it so that the next squares will be big enough. But that's okay. It's a beautiful, very colourful harlequin jacket. And it's like, that's what I want. I want something that is fun, lively. It's mostly acrylic. There's a little bit of yarn wool in it. I do actually prefer nowadays to use ethically sourced yarn from animals, which is a bit of a compromise for somebody who is a vegan and plant-based. Uh, I don't know what I can say about that. Sometimes we have to compromise, don't we? So I think in terms of projects and the channel, that is roughly where I am, I think. Last time I was here with you, I talked about some tarot cards that I pulled, and that goes with the blog. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, subscribe quickly, and then you will get the newsletter with the blog. You get one a month often on the last day of the month or the first day of the month. Depends how busy I am. Oh, that's what I like. I always like it when cards fall out. Okay. So we've got 2 cards, so I'm going to let you choose. So we have the Emperor, and I don't even know if this is, if you're able to read that or not. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So what I would like you to do is to choose one of these cards to look at and really look at the landscape. Look at anything you particularly notice about those cards. And then I'd like you to close your eyes and see that card with your eyes closed. See what you notice. And then maybe if you chose the Ace of Pentacles, you might paddle into the water and eat some of the grapes. You might go for a swim, or you might have chosen to be on the mountains, or you might be talking to the guy who's holding the pentacle. And if you chose the Emperor, you might be talking to him about what he's holding, or you might have gone into the mountains behind the snow-capped mountains. Or you might be sitting at his feet and feeling that beautiful, what looks like a velvet or silk dress or tunic. So for this moment, just allow yourself in your imagination to just enjoy the card that you chose and see what message came to you. And whilst you're there, focus on your breath and allow some peace into your life for this moment. Feel all the joy that you have inside of you and all the love. And then start to come back and look back at the card and see what you saw when you were in that imaginary journey. I hope you enjoyed that small um, journey of the imagination. At the end of every video, I do create a small moment of calm, an oasis of calm. And I think that every day, if we allow ourselves a little moment of silence to turn off the chatter, to just find that beautiful peace that is within us, and to feel the love that is in every cell of our being. You don't need to look outside of yourself for love. You are love. And when we remember this and when we know it, and I said remember because you see, you do know it already, but a lot of our culture and education has hidden it from us. It's made us doubt things, it's made us worry about things. And we've got to stop worrying and just start living and not stop hating and start loving and stop being fearful and being confident. Stop procrastinating, or should I say, putting things off till just get on, take some action. You know, if you want your life, you have to grab it and you have to put passion into it and time and energy. There's nothing wrong with sitting and just staring at the moon. Nothing wrong at all, because that's an activity. But taking time in silence to measure your day, find your gratitude, will change your whole life and your whole being. I'm looking at the time and it's coming up to 30 minutes, and I don't like to keep you for long. I know you're busy. I know you're under pressure, but I'm grateful that you're here with me. I'm grateful that you're taking this time. And I hope that you will continue on that journey that you found in the cards, and that it will enrich you and guide you and bring you peace. Thank you so much for joining me. You'll see me again on Sunday with the lovely Kim Chamberlain, and she's an amazing woman, truly amazing. And she hails from the United Kingdom and is now in the North Island of New Zealand, and a superb woman. So I'll see you on Sunday. Next Wednesday, I'll be here live again. I'm going to see if I can improve the lighting. If not, you'll just have to accept me as I am. I wish you a most wonderful week. Do get in touch if you are struggling. You know, I offer a 20-minute spiritual guidance for a donation, and you can decide what that is. It's just let me know. You know, you do it through Ko-fi, which the minimum payment is £1. So, you know, if that's all you can afford, you can still have your 20 minutes. Yeah. And if you want a deeper healing through hypnosis, spiritual guidance, you always get like a whole package of stuff. And although I charge what seems like a large amount of money, by comparison to others, it isn't, because this is for as long as you need it until you've achieved what it is that you've come to achieve. And some people have taken 4 weeks, and that's fine. I don't mind at all. Genuinely don't mind. It's a financial and energetic exchange. And if you need to be healed and to find your path again and to be empowered and to live that limitless life, then make contact with me. Deepest blessings to you all. Have a wonderful time. Much love to you. Thank you for being here.